Hey, good morning. How are you? No walking ramble this morning. Only a morning ramble in the car. Hope you're well, and nice to see. I get feedback from people saying they've watched this. It's great. It's great because there's some people I haven't heard from for a while, and the Lomond Radio. An old boss of mine at Lloyd's said that it reminded him of his time in Loch Lomond with his children, and they were on the bikes, etc. So yeah, it's good to get feedback like that. So keep messaging me if you do listen to things, because it helps steer what I'm doing. I also want to mention Barry Clark, who's in Canada now. I work with him in IBM, and he's doing some rants now, which are very good because it kind of makes you think. He was talking about best practice and how it's kind of arrogant to use the term best when how do you know who decided it was the best? And it's also good to see like Nick Levy, who's actually posting his IBM garage certificates. Fantastic. I'm doing some studying myself at the moment. I won't tell you what in case I don't pursue it, but I've got exam papers, the previous exam papers, remember them? I was listening to Billy Connolly this morning, his solo concert, and I remember that in 1975-76, around about then, when I first had his album, I used to listen to it while I was studying for maths and arithmetic exams at O levels, and I passed with straight A's. So actually great distraction listening to music and comedy. Obviously laughter's the best therapy, as they say. So being Mental Health Week, that's a good thing. Listen more to comedy, listen more to music. It doesn't have to be Mozart, it just has to be your favourite artist. And of course, if you listen to Lomond Radio, I do try to cover all bases, songs that I know, 70s, 80s, 90s, as well as things that are related to mental health or in feeling good. And the other one is I'm Every Woman, so male and female perspective. Have a look. There is a bit about HRT and the women's thing as well, because we're not doing a good job, men, in the workplace for that, and it is we're actually causing more problems because we're ignorant to it. We don't actually understand. So Davina McCall's got a TV programme out just now. I recommend watching it. I've had first-hand experience being an elderly man of this kind of thing, but I would there's trouble at mill on that one, not least of which is the supply chain at the moment is going all over the place and nobody seems to care about it, so politicians need to step up as well. So yeah, another thing is Chums. Is a great book. I'm just getting so much out of it. That's the one about Oxford University being the bedrock of every prime minister, and Gove is the current character they're talking about, and who else was there? Sir Keir Starmer. I hadn't realised that. Who else? So some surprising people went to Oxford, and they're all there, every single one of them. It's like, my goodness, do they just lift and shift from Oxford? Obviously that needs to change. We do need to change that in the next election, folks. Come on, I'm now on my soapbox on that. I don't care who goes in. I'm kind of politically agnostic. Conservatives, Labour, Liberal Democrats, SNP, Sinn Féin, DUP, it's whatever the people want, isn't it? I think that's the important thing, and we shouldn't really get upset if the people want something that's different from ourselves. We don't want to go down the American route where they all hate each other over there. They've basically got two parties and one hates the other side. It's a bit like growing up in Glasgow with Rangers and Celtic. On that note, now Europe, come on. Rangers, haven't they done really well to get in the final? That's on the 18th of May. Unfortunately, I won't be watching it because it's the first night of my play. Mad. It's mad. I hate it. Anyway, I'll find out the result afterwards. No doubt. I'm sure there'll be loads of WhatsApps from my son saying yes. Blue hearts. He always sends a blue heart whenever Rangers win. So yeah, got the t-shirts coming this week, and I'll try and wear it underneath my wardrobe on stage. So apart from that, I think that was all I wanted to chat about. PMs are brilliant. Yeah, they're amazing people, and we should support them more. I see some good opportunities out there if you're looking. Too late for some of them because it's been closed, but I've got on my LinkedIn, just have a look at that. There's a Mansion House. I've got a good opportunity, head of program delivery with them. They're a good company. I recommend them. I've been using them at HSBC, and they're definitely a good team. And that's a permanent job on a contract basis, I think it says. So I'm not sure. What else? Have a look at jobs in LinkedIn. I didn't used to look at it, but I thought, okay, let's have a little browse, and it's not too bad. I mean, at this stage, HSBC is a great company, and it's hard to. I wouldn't go back to Royal Bank or Lloyd's or other kind of companies that feel a bit of a downgrade. I mean, we do a lot of things, and I realised at the talk last week, it was a Q&A with other CISOs, and I realised people like from Tesco's and fund managers and other organisations that are around the table there, big and small, and sometimes you forget, if you're in a big organisation, just how much knowledge and effort that goes into just doing things on a daily basis. So you're involved in just about, especially in my role, I'm involved in just about everything from vulnerability management to secrets management to privilege access management and network segmentation, what else, and DDoS WAF, so there's quite a wide gamut of different technologies and skills, but not everybody's involved in all of those spaces. Some have got expertise in some of them. So when you get to a place like that, initially I was thinking, right, they don't know about certain things there, and I hear they're challenging there. And in many ways, one of the guys said is actually we wait to see what the big banks, what happens to the big banks, and then we get on with it and tackle it. And it's fair enough. So we at HSBC are often leaders. So when I've asked questions about certain things about in some of these seminars, and I realise what comes out of my mouth is very important to other people, because they're thinking, HSBC is looking at that, HSBC is talking about that. So things like zero trust and how I think that's important, is obviously sort of something that other people should be looking at. If somebody like HSBC are looking at that kind of thing. I mean, it's obviously not, we're not, as Barry Clark would say, we're not best practice necessarily. We do like the same with everyone, is we look at new solutions, new technologies, constantly innovating to try and do our best, and I think everybody else should. So we're not complacent. We all have to listen to each other. So it's quite good listening to a table of other people's opinions, and we are all in the same space. We are still getting ransomware issues. We are all still getting denial of service issues. We are still getting the privileged access concerns and things like that. So we are all in the same boat, fighting the same fire. Sometimes where we are at HSBC, it's just bigger fires, but there's more people to put out those bigger fires, and that's what's good. I mean, but it's not always just the big stuff, because just on Friday I was getting involved in a particular project that was blocked, and it was just simple. They're going through operational acceptance testing, and it was blocked because of people who were on holiday, or there was a public holiday in Hong Kong, so nobody knew, and it's like, all right, that's why we're not getting feedback, and but somebody in India can pick that one up, no problem. So it's really it's a different problem, and just by the scale of it, but we're going through exactly the same things that every organisation is going through. But it's also important to communicate that, and I think the more we do that on videos, sharing with other people in the industry, not just with our own colleagues, I think that probably helps to refine our own thinking, and either accept or decline the other person's opinion. But if we're not talking, how do you know? So the only way to do that is to get out to these conferences that are starting to sort of grow. Security First was a great one, and I think I'd like to go to the next one, and I think they do it quarterly. But I'm always invited to these round tables that are virtual, and I don't think I get as much out of the virtual, because you're just sort of sitting there and think it's a different experience. But the physical, actually, you get at least to have that human interaction that you can get. So I'd recommend that. Anyway, enough rambling this morning. That's 10 minutes, and I didn't think I'm going to a Starbucks. Have a good day. Cheers.